The next chapter is about to begin. Join us live every Tuesday and Thursday for brand new episodes of the American Contractor Show. Our mission is to bring you the latest tools, innovations, and knowledge to help you become the most informed contractor in your market. Knowledge is the ultimate power, and we are connecting you with the most knowledgeable minds in our industry. Make sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode. American Contractors, I hope you're ready. This one's for you.
This is Larry Bache with the Merlin Law Group, helping policyholders for more than 30 years. If you have a claim or your client has a claim that needs help, please feel free to call the Merlin Law Group because we are the true policyholder advocate.
C3 was eager to help us, and even whenever we weren't giving them work, they were still eager to give advice. The things that they were putting out for the for changing from DMO to RFG and giving that to the industry and not charging anything for it, I thought was really cool. And that's stuff that I, as a contractor, appreciate. I'd recommend C3 to any contractor who's looking for a PA, especially if you're around Colorado. Great guys, man. I'm nothing but happy with the work they've done for us.
What's up, everybody? Here at the Weather Center, it's meteorologist John Choquette, and we are going to go over this storm. We're at the loop right now that has just in the last few minutes really blown up over Colorado Springs. So we're going to kind of go through it, walk through it, see what we are going to expect with this storm. So let me just blow this past here. So the storm basically formed right by Colorado Springs, just north over by Manitou Springs, and you just see very recently marker blowing up here. See the colors getting up to that blue, and look how intense the reflectivity is. It's quite a bit of the deeper pinks and purples on here. Looks like we're going to already seeing quarter reports coming in from a little bit earlier. And you look at the CCs here. This is the correlation coefficient. So this tells you pretty much is there hail in the skies, more or less. Any large objects that's up in the air, when you get to those greens and blue colors, that's usually much larger hail that is falling. So right now with this storm, we've only seen quarter reports so far coming in from earlier in the storm. So right here is where it started. I was like, oh, we gotta go live. You can see correlation coefficient, not too much, but then it really starting to kind of bottom out here, especially right there. And look at how much hail. There's a ton of hail falling in this right now. It's probably almost exclusively hail falling across a good chunk of Colorado Springs. This is currently happening here just in the Broadmoor area to the west of Highway 85 here in Colorado Springs, especially in this area. Most recent update, you can see quite a bit of the CCs really starting to bottom out in this storm. If I zoom out a little bit, can I tell, is there a hail spike? There's a storm behind it, so it's hard for me to tell if there is a spike in here, but the fact that the CCs are, when you see the CCs, notice how it kind of bottoms out and shoots out in this direction. That usually is a pretty good indicator that, hey, there's actually some hail falling, some pretty big hail falling in this. Wouldn't be surprised if this is dropping close to golf ball size hail right now. Let me look at a couple other parameters. Yeah, probably close to golf ball size hail. We've only seen the quarter size reports coming in so far as a new warning. Oh, there it is, golf ball size hail. So we're getting confirmed reports from the National Weather Service in the Colorado Springs area. I'm going to turn the chat off real quick so you can see this a little easier. Golf ball size hail falling here in Colorado Springs. The storm literally, I mean, it blew up on top of town here and is now falling across Broadmoor, is primarily where that golf ball size hail is going to be. Let's kind of highlight where exactly that biggest hail is falling currently. I'm going to just kind of draw it on the screen for you guys. Anywhere in this area, that's where you're going to be seeing that the biggest hail, especially right in here, right where I got highlighted in yellow. Okay, we're getting some ping pong ball and golf ball reports coming in now from further to the north. This is where it's happening right now. Where I got highlighted in the yellow circle, that's where that hail is falling. You can see the lower CCs. When you see the greens and the blues, that's always a good sign. That means big hail. There's probably a lot of it falling as well. Tons of hail falling out of this thing, ranging in size anywhere from sub-severe to upwards of golf ball size, at least currently for what I'm seeing. Oh, get out of here, Siri. Looks like we have this hail now moving off to the south and east. So this is where it is currently. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to bring on, it's heading pretty much south-southeast, so it's going to head in the general direction of Fort Carson. So it's going to go down, go across, what's it, Highway 85, am I right? Yeah, Route 115, and we'll end up getting down towards Fort Carson, and then eventually down into Fountain, Colorado. So this is right now, so we got a couple reports that come in, a golf ball report, a ping pong ball report, a bunch of core reports. We got ping pong ball size hail at 10th Street and Colorado Avenue in Colorado Springs. Right now, and this is in Broadmoor, I got zoomed in here. This is where the golf ball size hail is falling at this exact moment where you see the yellows, greens, and blues, especially the greens and the blues on the southern section of the storm here. That's where that golf ball size hail is falling. Tons of hail falling in this storm. So is going to just keep going here. So we're getting a bunch of different, what's in the video that you sent there, Joe? Channel 13, News Channel 13, I'm assuming that's hail falling at the moment. Either way, areas where it's hailing right now in Broadmoor, so this is just west sides of southwest of Colorado Springs. We have on 4th Street and Elm Avenue, you're getting golf ball size hail. So now, I know we got mentions up a little bit to the north over into the Denver area. We were watching these storms as well here. This looked like we were going to possibly get going. We got a warning for this. This is within the mountains. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to bring this up on a different radar for you guys to check out. So we can kind of double trouble this right here. So we're going to check in on the Denver storm, on the storm to the west of Denver, and then we're going to jump right back to Colorado Springs where we're seeing golf ball size hail falling right now. Of course, it's all being mapped live on Hail Trace, and as always, thanks to our sponsor, C3 Group. They're out of the Denver area, Merlin Law Group, and Balance Claims RSL. If you were watching at the beginning, you saw the ads, and you watch us every day, you see those ads as well. So it looks like we're seeing, it looks like a pretty decent storm trying to take off here over in the mountains to the west of Denver. So you got a little bit of time before this can get to the Denver area. So be over by Arvada and Wheat Ridge and whatnot. It's got a little bit of time, probably like 20 minutes or so before it gets there. Further north, Fort Collins, nothing in Fort Collins right now. So we're going to jump back to Colorado Springs here, jump back to the other radar. We're going to cover that. So most recent update of the radar, continuing to push a little bit further south and east. A lot of Colorado Springs being impacted with hail. Anywhere you're seeing the higher reflectivity, the pink colors, that's where you're seeing that hail. Anywhere from sub-severe upwards to golf ball size so far. So it looks like we're actually seeing some pretty good hail falling here in Colorado Springs. This place really likes to get hit with hail. A lot of these areas, they got annihilated a couple years ago from that crazy storm with softball size hail. Does not look like this is going to be that storm, at least from what we're seeing so far. If you guys have got any pictures, any confirmation for me to see, go ahead, let me know put it in the comments below. I'm kind of mentioning that in the what we got here. The weather chat can send in some pictures as well when you guys are watching that, so we can kind of check it out on the video. Large hail now moving into the Strathmore area. So if it's a Bayfield Drive and Cheyenne Meadows Road, you're probably seeing that hail starting. Probably gonna be some of the bigger hail early on with this, and then up to golf ball size hail. It looks like it is not as intense as it was a few minutes ago, where like, let's go with that frame, these two frames here. That's definitely where you're seeing some golf ball size hail in this area, and then now a little less intense in terms of the quantities of hail falling. Still looking like we're seeing upwards of that golf ball size hail. Notice all the lower CCs. You want to see the greens, you want to see the yellows and blues. That's where you're going to be seeing the much larger hail, much larger quantities of hail, and much larger hail in general impacting the area. We got a new warning just issued now for Fort Carson and down into Fountain and South Colorado Springs. Continued for golf ball size hail. Again, weather spotters are showing that there was hail. They're finding those large hailstones for you guys, and so that's what's happening currently. We're probably gonna get another radar update here in another minute or so as the storm continues moving to the south and to the east. Areas impacted, some real heavily impacted areas, the intersection at Cresta Road and Parkview Boulevard. Wouldn't be surprised if you had even up to close to 2-inch hail there. And now moving further to the south and east, where we'll see the next areas impacted. Fort Carson, you're next in the next few minutes, probably next like 10 minutes or so, and then Fountain about 20 minutes from now, so about 10 minutes after that. And after it gets to Fountain, it'll move to south and east into more rural regions. Not the only storm going on right now, it's the biggest storm going on right now. And it gives you kind of a preview of what could happen over by Denver. Again, this went from no storm at all to dropping golf ball size hail over the course of about 15 minutes. So we can roll this all the way back. This was at 3:30 Mountain Time, and this is now. So just over the course of about 40 minutes, we went from pretty much a tiny little storm, and then storm dropping golf ball size hail, and now moving through Colorado Springs. The western and southern sections of Colorado Springs is the areas being impacted by this storm. Latest radar update, let's see, did we get an update? Yeah, we did. Storm not moving super fast. Again, this was at about, what time is it? 3:51 to now at 4:11. Sorry, I'm trying to keep it at mountain time for you guys. So from about a 20-minute period here, the storm didn't move too much. So you're getting a pretty long hail time with this, and quite a bit of hail. If you are in the path of this, again, if you're in Fort Carson, Strathmore, over in the southern sections of Colorado Springs, south of, what highway is this here? South of the Martin Luther King Jr. Expressway or in Fountain, get ready. You're going to be seeing some hail pretty soon here. The hail algorithm is thinking this storm might be weakening a little bit. We'll see if that's the case, or if it just kind of cycles through and continues to kind of ride the mountain range here, as they typically do in the Colorado Springs area. They kind of ride the Rocky Mountains all the way down to Fountain, dropping hail with it. So we already have a confirmed golf ball report just now pop up for south of Colorado Springs. So again, the Broadmoor area heading into Fort Carson, so just north of Fort Carson. Just got a golf ball report coming in, so it's still dropping golf ball size hail moving towards Fort Carson. You can see that. Look at that update we just got right now. Look at all the yellows and greens showing up here for the in there. Everywhere in here you can see that when you see that showing up on radar, that means you're seeing that hail much larger than 1 inch diameter. Probably a lot of hail falling. Again, here in Colorado, ranges in size quite a bit. It's almost exclusively hail falling sometimes. It's going to be a lot of hail falling, ranging from quarter to golf ball. Wouldn't be surprised if we see a 2-inch report come in somewhere along the path, either already or in the future here with how this storm has been looking. So pretty quickly, this got its act together and moved through. So we're going to take a break from the Colorado Springs storm just for a moment, since we did just get a radar update, maybe a couple minutes before we get another one. We're going to check back in the overview, and we're going to check in the Denver area. I know folks are asking. I think I saw someone ask about Arvada a moment ago. Let's see what's happening here. So this is a storm. It's warned for $half size hail. Let me double check that. Quarter size hail west of most of the metro. It's even west of Golden, Colorado. In the mountains here, we've been kind of watching this last half hour or so, trying to see what was going to happen with it. Let me kind of load more radar. We got a little area of hail here up in the mountains, and really we're not going to have to worry about this in Denver until it pops over the top of the mountains. Will it pop over the mountains and get into the metro and take off, or is it going to kind of peter around in here and peter out? We'll see. I mean, so far this year, we get a storm that forms here. They don't want to make it over the mountains. So we're just going to have to kind of sit pretty and wait and see what happens. This would head towards the Arvada area and Wheat Ridge and Golden, Denver itself. We'll see how it goes, if it can actually get over the mountains. Boulder, probably not going to see anything, and then pushing off to the east. So Louisville, about to get any hail? Not from this stuff. This all looks pretty minimal in terms of the hail. So Louisville's right there. Hey, the storm over here brought a lot of heavy rain, maybe some small hail, but nothing severe, nothing like what we're seeing in the Colorado Springs area right now. So I'll be watching this, checking in on it periodically, and see if it's going to head towards Denver. Of course, again, Denver has not really seen too much so far this year in terms of hail, nor has Colorado Springs, but this is definitely far and away the best storm so far for Colorado Springs this year, but there's almost no contest. There's quite a bit of hail. And again, if you're watching this and you just live there, you're not in the restoration industry, the areas that I'm saying down the road, you might want to move your car. You don't want to, I know some of the PDR guys might be like, no, drive. But, it looks like this storm has quite a bit of hail with it. Jumping back in, latest update here, even more greens and blues showing up. The CC is getting lower more consistently. The more consistently you see lower CCs, lower correlation coefficient, the more large objects in the sky falling, the more hail in the sky. So quite a bit here heading into Fort Carson currently, right by the intersection of these two highways, by Route 115 and the South Academy Boulevard, right where those come together. Neighborhoods in here, you are seeing quite a bit of big hail. You're getting, again, this area right, let me clear screen, right where I got circled here. Look at that. That has a lot of low CCs, even compared to previous frames. Come on. You can look at that. Even compared to previous frames. So this is the previous frame. This exact area got circled here. Notice you see the greens and yellows. This one kind of bottoming out a little bit more. So this storm really is wanting to just kind of keep pushing along, keep chugging along, keep dropping that big hail. Golf ball size hail is the largest we've seen confirmed so far. I haven't had a chance to look at any photos or anything, and I'm just seeing the reports as they're popping up on the screen. So golf ball size hail confirmed. Again, wouldn't be shocked if there's going to be a 2-inch report somewhere in there, and it will continue heading towards heading towards the Fort Carson area and then into Fountain. So this is where the storm is right now. Again, Colorado Springs, there's downtown, Broadmoor, Strathmore, Fort Carson. It's pretty much right between. It's going to be heading right into Fort Carson, and I'll just throw the arrow on for you. It's going basically like this. So this is a pretty common path for storms in Colorado Springs. They form just to the northwest of Colorado Springs, move through, hit Fort Carson, go to Fountain, and then pop out the other side and get to rural areas. So that's what's going to be going on, again, next 20 minutes or so. Already had golf ball size hail, still dropping golf ball size hail. Like where I mentioned before, where these two highways, the South Academy Boulevard and Route 115 come together. This whole neighborhood in here all being impacted with up to golf ball size hail currently. And we'll probably get another update here continuing pushing off to the south and east. And now they got a flash flood warning issued. So that's what we're seeing right now. This is, again, the only real game in town that's having big hail. Otherwise, we're keeping an eye on stuff up by Denver. And Colorado is the only real hail risk today. There's not a whole lot else at risk across the country. Tropical storm / hurricane Isaias has left, has went up into Canada. Our map is there, and it will be continuing to be updated and edited as we keep kind of tweaking it a little bit. You can check that out on Hail Trace as well. So while we're waiting for another radar update here, another good chance to just shout out to a sponsor with the C3 Group. They are based out of Colorado. They help with claims. You got Merlin Law Group, Art of Supplement, Balance Claims. Again, thanks to all of them for sponsoring our videos. And so we'll get an update here. 5 minutes now. So you can check them out in the description below if you're watching us on our Hail Trace Facebook page here with us. So continued the warning was updated. Or no, it wasn't updated. They got rid of the other warning. Never mind. So continue to be warned for golf ball size hail and pushing off to the south and east again. If you're in Fort Carson, you're in Fountain, you haven't been impacted yet, and you're just watching, you might want to put your car inside. Again, golf ball size hail can do quite a bit of damage. And, we have this storm continuing to push south and east, pretty similar to areas that were impacted the last couple of years. Storms like to kind of ride the mountains like this, maintain that updraft. It's just the way everything kind of just lines up, it seems. You seem to just get that storm to move the same area over and over again over the past few years. Nothing like what happened in, was it 2018? Yeah, in 2018, had softball size hail in Colorado Springs. This is not a softball size hail producer. This is golf ball size hail. Again, probably a lot of hail falling. Not sure the quantities of golf balls versus the other sizes. I think, again, Colorado, you see a lot of hail falling with this, and just based on the parameters I'm seeing here, yeah, it's not a ton of melting, quite a bit of hail falling. Whoop, I don't want to have that one on there. Kind of bouncing back and forth. Really looks like a lot of hail up to golf ball size. And we were mentioning this yesterday. A lot of storms yesterday were doing this in Colorado. It's not impacting too many people. This one definitely moving right through the city here in Colorado Springs. I know a fair number of you guys watching are pretty excited about that because it is a Colorado. Colorado hasn't really seen too much so far this year, and fairly unusual. You guys, Colorado is usually one of the biggest hail states out there. The Front Range gets impacted all the time, and much like Texas this year, just hail pretty much across the country has been kind of on a down year overall. So, well, my radar doesn't seem to be wanting to update here, so I'm going to jump back over, check in on the Denver area, see what our storm is doing, and I have an update in about 10 minutes in the Denver area. So, while we wait, I'm going to throw on a couple commercials for you guys. Just some shout outs to our sponsors. Hopefully we can get an update here as these storms continue to push along, and we will be back in about 30 seconds.
John here with Art of the Supplement, and I wanted to invite you to our brand new Facebook group, Art of the Supplement Nation. We've assembled the industry's top experts to bring you the best answers to all your insurance restoration questions. It's on Facebook, not MySpace. Delete that. You don't need MySpace anymore.
This is Larry Bache with the Merlin Law Group, helping policyholders for more than 30 years.
Okay, all right. Whoops, I'm back here, guys, and let me just pause this. I still haven't gotten an update. I'm wondering, hopefully my internet's not having any problems right now. But just to kind of recap what's been going on, so this was a storm in Colorado Springs. The main reason we went live, formed right over the city, dropped into golf ball size hail. It just exploded, and then it's continuing to push south. Looks like it's impacting Fort Carson now. Looks like we just got an update with the radar, so let's jump straight to that, along with couple other golf ball. Got a golf ball report confirmed by from an NWS employee. Those are highly appreciated. There's always ones that I can rely on. It's trustworthy. The National Weather Service employee reporting golf ball size hail pretty much in these. Let me get out of the way here. Look at all the greens and blues, really concentrated now. So a lot of hail falling, probably quite a bit of golf ball size hail falling right where South Academy Boulevard and Route 115 meet. Those neighborhoods there right by Fort Carson, definitely having a loud storm right now. A lot of homes being impacted. A lot of hail here as we're getting a lot of that quarter to golf ball size hail and continuing to move to the south and to the east. This is probably the most intense looking hailstorm we've had in Colorado in the populated area so far this year. Again, probably not a very high bar to pass. There hasn't been too much to really see so far this year, but this is definitely a pretty intense storm so far. A lot of hail falling with this, and again, continuing to move towards Fort Carson. Up further north, too far away. This radar's too far away to see Denver too great. But other areas other than that main highway on more neighborhood road, East Meadow Drive and over by Canoe Creek Drive south, again, probably quite a bit of up to golf ball size hail falling. Considering we have golf balls, again, I wouldn't be shocked a couple isolated 2-inch stones are mixing in with this, but overall, probably quarter up to golf ball size hail. Marker's gone back up. The algorithm's indicating up to tennis ball size hail with this. I'm not seeing tennis balls with it right now. I'm definitely seeing more quarter to that golf ball size. Hang on, let me see. All right, got questions from the weather team here. I'm kind of playing double duty on this, trying to make sure everything's running smoothly. We got, so if you're just joining us, we had a storm form by Manitou Springs, moving across the western sides of Colorado Springs, now southern Colorado Springs into the Fort Carson area with hail upwards of golf ball size. Checking back in over by the Denver area where, man, this stupid thing still hasn't, I still haven't gotten an update. I'm 10 minutes behind here. Let me jump on the overview. And I don't know if the Denver radar might have froze or something, because I haven't gotten any update from Denver in a little bit. It looks like the storm is now just to the north and west of Golden. Again, got a little ways to go here before we actually get to the Denver area. We got to get past Golden first, and then we'll see what's going to happen when we get over by Denver. But for now, again, the main storm, the big story with this is getting that big hail here across Colorado Springs, where my radar seems to be delayed a little bit. Hopefully my internet's not going slow or something. I don't know what's happening here where I'm kind of getting backed up a bit. Maybe if any of the weather center has got the stream up and give me a heads up, because again, we're running about 10 minutes behind. It's 4:26 Mountain Time right now, and this is from 4:17 Mountain Time. So the storm likely now, 10 minutes later, instead of it being about to impact Fort Carson, is probably over Fort Carson. I'm willing to bet it'll be, let's see, I'm guessing the hail core right here is probably about here now. So that's what we're seeing on the last radar update from about 10 minutes ago. So it's probably right around here at this point, give or take, a little east-west shift and whatnot. So as we continue to hopefully get an update to keep you guys in the know of what's going on, you can say that there's a pretty good storm. If you got hail trace, you're going to be getting alerted about this hail, this golf ball size hail as it's happening within these locations along with this live stream. And if you're downstream from this, fountain, get ready, because you're going to be getting some hail here, possibly golf ball size hail for you guys in the next few minutes. And since I haven't had an update in a little bit, it's going to be a little tough to say exactly where this is going to be. Golly, Denver hasn't updated either. What the heck? Okay, so we got a new warning over for the Denver area for quarter size hail. Includes parts of Arvada and the western Arvada. So again, our radar has an update. We haven't updated. This is from 4:10. So the fact that it's still showing the storm from back here, that's a while ago. It's 4:28 right now, and so we've got a ways to go. It's still one for quarter size hail, and now includes parts of Arvada, and hopefully. Okay, I'm starting to get some pictures to show up on here, and I'm finding some decent size hail with this. Some ping pong ball to golf ball size hail popping up already on social media. Man, yeah, I don't know what's going on, guys. I'm having some problems with our software to our data stream, or something's getting jacked up. So might have to rely on our overview mode for the moment. So it looks like the hit storm as of might have to rely on our overview mode for the moment. So it looks like the hit storm as of 4:24. The storm was to the west of a north-south highway that goes through the center of Golden, and then the other storm here in Colorado Springs is basically right over Fort Carson and Strathmore. It looks like pretty long hail time, 6-7 minutes of hail falling. That's going to be quite a bit. It's going to dent up quite a bit of cars and impact quite a few homes. It's a real bummer. We're not getting anything, not getting up all the way to pretty much, let me just kind of do a little circle. Seems to be basically right up in here is where the hail's falling right now. I'm looking quite a bit of low CC, so it's very possible there could be close to tennis ball size hail here by Fort Carson areas just to the east. Again, we're clearly having some technical difficulties, so if I can't get this to work in the very near term, I may unfortunately have to kill the stream for a minute and try to get this to actually work, so I'm not just like spinning my wheels as much. Yeah, we got that. We got warned for tennis ball size hail. Here we go. I can just kind of roll off of this. So right along I-25 here in the Strathmore area. It's going to be heading to Fountain next with the storm. Again, right over Fort Carson. 2-inch hail, possibly up to tennis ball size hail with this. It's warned for tennis balls. I don't know if it was confirmed of actual tennis ball size hail. And further to the north, the storm that's heading pretty much into the Denver area, where now I have not much showing up on here either. So come on, gotta show everybody Denver. So there we go. And we have this storm again over by Golden. Seems to be over by Golden now, and this will be heading to Denver pretty soon. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a minute. I'm going to come on. Gonna see if I can actually get how was the hail west of Parker. Oh, over by Parker, that was around, I think we just had some quarter size hail over by Parker a little bit earlier. Dang it. Okay. All right, guys. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a break. I'm going to get off of the video stream. We'll come back. I'm going to come back as soon as I'm going to figure out what in the name of God's going on with this. So I want to get the data up there. I want to be able to show you guys this is happening live. Check us out, hailtrace.com. The maps are being updated. I've been confirmed from the weather team that they're able to map everything still as it's continuing live. So you can check that out and just hit refresh and it'll refresh the map for you. So we'll be back as soon as I'm able to get this on here. So hang tight.